Welcome to the Big Messy Bun, episode 61. You guys, here we are. I just finished teaching a class. I'm recording this on a Monday night, and on Mondays we have a class we call the mashup class. And so we gather two groups of classes in one. And after class, we were just sitting around. I always chit chat with the group after class, and I was talking to them about morning rituals, night rituals, and things like that. And I said, I'm actually going to talk about this on the podcast today about setting up some formal routine for yourself to start your day with intention rather than just rolling out of bed and letting the day roll you over. Getting out of bed and feeling like you're in control. And guess what? Like, if you feel like your life is so chaotic and crazy, you can still create this for yourself in a smaller dose. So you might create a 5-minute ritual for yourself, like 5 minutes, and then build on that. Or if you're at a season of your life like myself, I can do a whole hour ritual or routine for myself because I'm done with raising children and I don't have that rush going on in my home. So I can take it to a different level. So don't compare one person's morning routine or don't feel like you have to do a routine that's not suitable to your lifestyle at the moment. I remember a few years ago, a couple girlfriends and we were starting to do, and it was suitable at the time. We did get up at 5 a.m. We were the 5 a.m. club. And luckily, we were both living in BC, so we were in the same time zone and we were getting up at 5 a.m. Now, I needed that routine at the time because I was actually quite depressed and I had no routine in my life at all. So getting up at 5 a.m. was very helpful to me to have focus and have routine and a pattern and something to look forward to. And we always worked out together or we talked, and it was like a really nice thing to look forward to, especially doing it with a buddy. So if you're new to a routine, if you can find a buddy to do it with, it makes a huge difference, having some community around you. And it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to get up and work out. Your routine, I was just jotting down some ideas here. It could be, okay, so one of the ladies in our class, we were just chatting, and she's got some pain in her hips and her knees. And I said, if you woke up and just did a light stretch in bed for 5 minutes every morning, like as you get up, just a 5-minute stretch. It doesn't have to be 50 minutes or an hour, just 5 minutes of just like being intentional about your movement, being intentional about what you do first thing in the morning. And another thing that I shared with them that I'm going to work on this month is not viewing social media for 1 hour. Like the first hour of my day, making it about not social media. I spend enough time on social media that I don't need that to be the first thing that enters my thought process, my brain in the morning. And I'm going to do the same thing before bed. So lots of times when I'm teaching my classes or I work with clients, I talk about bookending your day with nutrition. So when we bookend our day with routine, you can start and end your day the same way. That way you're only learning one new habit, one new routine, but you do it twice a day and it feels really good. So I brought along today one of my journals that I'm working on. This is a gift actually that I'm writing my kids. And I just brought it to share with you guys today. I won't be reading it to you because it's super personal, and it's just a book where I like to write to them. So for this month, I'm going to write to them a little more often. So normally I pick up and just write when it feels like, oh, I want to share something with the kids. Then I'll share something with them. Sometimes I want to share an old story from when they were little because something will like spark my memory. And I'll be like, oh, I want to share that. And then I'll write them a little story about when they were 5 or 3 or 2 years old. And it's just fun to like start my day with that. So it doesn't have to be, I love gratitude journaling. I do. And I'm a big gratituder. But if you are not sure what to write, write a loved one a letter, and you don't even have to mail it. You can just write it in a book and just keep it. If you want to give it to them at some date, you can, but it's a really nice way to start your day with love and focus and not feel like you have to be inundated with the news. The news right now has been a little hard to watch, and just social media in general. Like, I run a business on social media. I'm very social on social media, but lately I've been finding it really hard to kind of want to show up in social media world or take part in the whole social media life, I guess. So anyway, if you can find that for yourself. Now, I like to start my day that way. There might be things that you want to do, like maybe you like dancing and you start dancing your morning, like for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes every morning. Maybe you listen to music that just lights your soul up. Maybe you write. Maybe you listen to a podcast that is really good for your heart and soul. Excuse me. Another thing I like doing, I don't do it all the time, but I try to do it more often than not, is just connect with people that I love and people that I really care about. Or then sometimes I'll just shoot a message to someone that's made a difference in my life. Like, so taking that time, being intentional with that. And if you do it for, like, say the month of February, like, you just tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to do that this month. I'm just going to send out some love. Like, it's love month. And I just said this to my class, like, it is love month, but I want you to love yourself fully, right? Like, I want you to be so in love with yourself that you don't even need love from an outside individual. Funny enough, it's about a year ago that I met Lance, and we both were like so good on our own. Like, we were both like really, we loved ourselves fully, and then we come together, and now it's like really fun to have that extra love and all of that comes with it. But when you don't need it, when you're not desperate for it, and you love yourself so much, it feels so good. It just feels so good. So if you're someone that's like in the middle of maybe you're in that era, like last year I was single heading into February, and I was very happy. I was just loving working on the podcast, working at my job, running my classes, doing life. And then I kind of ran into him, and then we've just been with each other ever since. It's been really nice, but it wasn't something I was set out like, I have to have this or else my life is not complete. But back to Love Month, back to ways that you can give and share love, is text your friends or call your friends that you love so much, or a person that's made a difference in your life. Like, shoot them a message and just say, hey, I just want to say thanks. I received that text today from one of my members in my class. She just wrote me the most beautiful message, and I'm like, God, that felt so nice, like, to read that, like the difference that I've made in her life. For her to express that back to me was just like, it was such a nice gesture. And so don't think that people don't want to hear from you, and don't underestimate the power that you have in sending that text to a loved one, in reaching out to someone, especially if you know someone that's going through something. Shoot them a thinking about you text, or let them know, like, if there's something you can even do for them, like, express that to them. Let them know that they're not alone. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're all alone. I'm doing a lot of reflecting right now this time of year. It's almost 5 years ago that we started our online fitness classes. We started them February 17th, 2021. And I was just thinking back to this time, like 5 years ago, like it was a completely different life, it feels like, than it is today. And so at that time, I had so many people reaching out and making sure I was getting up, making sure I was okay. And I'm just so grateful to those folks that just got me out of bed each day and continued to encourage me to keep putting one foot in front of the other when there was many days you just want to fold in and be like, forget it, I'm not doing this. And so if you know someone out there that could use that, like, throw them a text, give them a call, invite them for lunch, or do something. Like, if you can, just be kind to them, because I think our world right now is really needing a lot of kindness, and it doesn't need more lectures. It doesn't need more shit out there. And so I'm wanting to create some of that this month. So that's one of my goals for this month, is just to be a little bit less on social media. Now I am promoting a business on social media. I'm working on a new app, a new wellness app, but all of this can be done in the boundaries of my health and my mental health, as well as this is a message to you. If you're working on something and you're required to be on social media a lot, just make sure you carve out that time that you're not on social media, and really not on social media, like really not even available. That's something I've been doing really good at, just like ditching my phone on the weekends. I'm only available to texting. Sometimes I will check messages. Again, I run a business, but my business doesn't have to be 24/7, right? So you can do that too. If you are someone who runs a business online, just be sure to take care of yourself in it. They'll be there. And if they're not there, well, you have to just take that, I guess. And so yeah, just be a little more sacred with yourself and your time, because it's worth it. So back to a morning routine. A morning routine is very difficult to have if you don't have any sort of evening calm down, settle down, and get ready for bed sort of plan. And again, if you're in a busy season, I remember my bedtime routine when my kids were small was just like crash after they went to bed. Like, I just did. I was very fortunate that I slept well when my kids were small. Like, I did not get up. Like, I literally would be going 100 miles an hour with them, put them to bed, and I just would go to bed, or I'd stay up for about an hour and then go to bed. And I really slept well, which I'm very grateful that I had that when my kids were small. But during perimenopause and menopause, my sleep has been much worse and more disrupted. And so I really want to work on trying to get better quality sleep. And so getting off of devices, especially the devices, like the computer and the phone, I'm going to probably wean myself with like Netflix or Prime, watch a show. But for me, doesn't get my brain all riled up, but social media does, or working on a project does. So those are kind of the things I want to work on this month to get my bedtime routine better, so that my mornings can be smoother as well. So if that resonates with you, I hope it does, and I hope you can create that for yourself, because it doesn't have to be grand, but if you can be very intentional about the way you start and end your day, it's a nice way to get going and just be a little more primed for your day, and then going to bed at night just a little more focused and intentional about how that bedtime routine is going to go for you. So that is it, folks. Episode 61 of The Big Messy Bun. Here I am in my gym. I was going to go set up in my recording studio, but I just wanted to get this recording out, and to record in the studio, I have to move all my equipment to another room. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to do it right here, right after class. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Please share it with a friend. And yeah, if you have any comments on today's episode, drop them in the comment section, and be sure to follow the show.